Greetings, fellow toy collectors. This is Screamers. I've had a lot of friends ask me if I'd start doing video blogs, and since we have a whole house full of toys, I thought, why not give it a try? It's not going to be as detailed or as fancy as some of the other toy blogs I've seen, and the special effects like you'll see in Angry Video Game Nerd. We don't know how to do that yet, but maybe in the future I can talk to a couple of my friends like Froy or my friend Nick, and they can help me out with some ideas, put more character into it, and such things like that, darlings. But for now, I'm going to keep it on the basics, talk a little bit about some of my favorite miscellaneous Transformer items, starting off with two balloons I recently got on eBay. They're balloons from the 80s, and they were easy to pick up at like Hallmark, is where I basically got them in the 80s. I had this big thing with collecting Transformers even back then, so every chance I got I would pick up one of these balloons and I would save them, have them blown up several times, and I lost them over the years like a lot of things, and recently I found them on eBay again, which was a real treat, and now it's just finding a place to display them. Here's a close-up of Optimus Prime and a close-up of Megatron. Very 80ish, 1985 fans. Next, I have a Transformer lamp from the 80s, around 85 as well. That's when a lot of the miscellaneous stuff came out because they realized everything was going to be, Transformers was really going to be big. And Tony found us a few years back at a flea market. But the story I have to go with this is, back in like 1990, my parents and I were on a family trip, and I saw this at a Toys R Us on clearance, along with Preceptor. I was always more into the toys, so I skipped on it. And I was like, later on, I was like, oh, I should have got that lamp. So when I got with Tony, he had it, so I ended up getting my Transformer lamp. It's both of ours. He's a cute little guy. We don't use him too much, but it's still a really cool collectible item that we keep. Now, on to the next item. Let's see if I put this here. And I will go to my Transformer cookie jar. Optimus Prime from the 1980s. I'd say about 1985 too, about the same time everything else was coming out. I saw one of these back in 1997 at a BotCon, and I had thought of getting it, and I skipped it. It was, I would say, about $100, $150, and I skipped getting it, getting toys instead. Anyhow, when I started dating Tony, I told him all about it, and he picked me up one for Christmas one year, along with a Thundercat race set. So it was actually a pretty good Christmas. But he now sits in our kitchen, along with a few other collectible cookie jars. And there's a close-up shot of them. Very cool item. Now if we could find some Transformer cookies to go with it. Next, I have a Transformers cassette player, Soundwave. It's a very cool collectible item on the side of it, and then I have a back. Anyhow, we picked him up this year at a BotCon, sealed in box. We had a loose one, but this actually has a very interesting story to it too. Back in 1987, during one of my big Transformer Christmases, my mom gave me the choice. There was two items on clearance. She said I could either have the Soundwave cassette player or I could have the Devastator gift set. Well, being the big toy fan, and Devastator is so cool, I had to get that instead. But we do now have him. It's a very cool toy, collectible item, and he does play cassettes. They don't transform though. Next, let's see here. Another favorite of mine is the Skywarp soap dish. A very cool little collectible piece. I heard of about, I would say about 5 or 6 years ago, a friend of mine told me about it. And I was like, oh, I gotta get a Skywarp soap dish. Took me forever to find one. And then a few years back, when they were still holding CyberCon conventions, I picked him up. I think I paid like $15 for him. But he is a very cool item, and I hear there is actually a Galvatron too, but I've never seen it. Still though, very cool item. And maybe someday I'll get the Galvatron and a Transformer big wheel too. I can keep my fingers crossed, darlings. Next, I have a Ultra Magnus radio. Back in the 80s there was only AM, so he doesn't get too many hit musics. But he is a very cool collectible. I picked him up at a flea market. I get a really good close-up of this guy. He's really cool. Picked him up at a flea market, I'd say about 2 or 3 years ago for $5. And he was well worth it. He does work, but like I said, he only gets AM, so no hit music on there. Last but not least, I have a wheeljack doorbell. This goes on your bedroom, or most boys in the 80s. And he still works. He's a cool little piece. I picked him up at a BotCon several years ago. I believe I only paid like about 10 or 15 for him too. And since I'm big into miscellaneous stuff, he was a real treat. And like I said, he still works. Very cute little guy. Now, the last two items I have to show were not sold in the 80s, but they are really cool miscellaneous things that you never see. And one of them's designed by my boyfriend Tony. He has about 15 of these. He's made barrettes for me. He's made magnets, all kinds of little things, and he does it out of yarn and canvas. And he made this for me for Christmas. This is Ratchet. And since I'm a big G1 fan, he's one of my favorite Autobots. But my boyfriend designed this, and he's won many contests actually with these yarn guys. Very cool little guy. I'll have to do a blog just on those sometime. Then, the last item I would like to show is made from one of my friends on DeviantArt. Her name's Susie Wong. She makes these little plushies. And this is a way to advertise for her too. She doesn't know I'm doing this, so. She makes these little plushies. She's made Ratchet, she's made Optimus Prime, she's made movie characters, but a ton. And I wanted to get a little word out for her. Now in closing, I would like to say, this is Screamer, keep it real.